let's get to it. I'm here to teach you how to terminate Ethernet ports and RJ45 heads. Um, Start with the ports. So this is the plate that you'll find on the wall. You probably have to go to Home Depot and get the trim that hits this particular plate. Um, so you see how the Ethernet ports have this springy part, and well, it also says up, and this says up. So you kind of match them up. No duh, right? But there's a bottom lip there, and the bottom lip sits in there, and it just snaps in like that, and there you go. So again, bottom bottom lip sits there, and you just snap it in like that, and boom, you've got your cat plates, and this goes on the wall inside the box, and it's all NAS. All right, so next part. Don't be alarmed that this says Cat6 and your cable might say Cat5. The only difference between Cat6 and Cat5 is the thickness of the cable and how tight the cable is wound. Um, but Cat6 cable does not fit inside Cat5 heads. I mean, they do, but it's going to be really, really rough. But Cat5 cable does fit Cat6 heads because Cat5e uh, gauge is a lot smaller, so it's fine. But you can't go the other way because the gauge in here would be too big um, to fit inside the Cat5e uh, inside the Cat5e grooves. So yeah, so here's the cable that you're going to be dealing with. I think that your cable is blue and white. Um, so what you're going to do is the cable is coming down inside that box. What you're first going to do is grab this tool, and this tool has a little knife inside of it. And what's cool about it is that you can just put it in there, and then you can turn it like this, and then take it out, and it makes a nice clean cut. See that? Yeah. Now most cable has this twine. What I like to do is I like to peel it back a little to expose even more. And I'll tell you why. Because you see, I made my cut here, right? And what happens a lot of times is I go in too deep and I actually nick a bit of the cable. Pulling this back, right, and ensures that I don't have any small nicks in the cable. So what I usually do is I usually take the spine, if it has a spine. Usually Cat 5e cable does not have a spine like this. Cat 6 usually does have a spine, and what the spine does, it adds strength to the cable. It's actually structured K cable. This is what people use to run um, inside buildings and stuff like that, in homes. Yeah, so the spine inside adds a lot of strength to the cable. So I usually take the spine, the sheathing, and this cloth string here, and I just bind them all up like that. And if you have pliers, what I like to do is I like to cut them like this, but make sure that you don't accidentally cut the cable itself, but I just like cut it like that. If you don't have uh, not pliers, I'm sorry. If you don't have a cutter, well, actually, that's called a dike. If you don't have a dike, what you can do is just come up behind it like this and just do one of those, and it just cuts it. I mean, that's what knives do. Knives cut. Now, the first thing you'll notice is there are four colors. There's green, orange, brown, and blue. And they are all very tightly wound, right? So, what, kick the camera. Don't do that, boy. So, what I like about these Ethernet ports is that they're already color coded. They're color coded. So you literally just have to match the color to to you know you have to just match the respective color. Okay, so this cable is kind of hard to tell orange and brown apart. Actually, not on camera, but if you see it in real life, it's the brown is kind of shiny and it looks like the orange, but that's neither here nor there. So what I usually like to do is lay my cable here, right, and then the the top of you see how these are sort of peaks, right? So what I like to do is I like to pick a groove solid brown is on top, right? So pick a interval where solid brown is up top, and you just hold it there, pinch it here, and turn the opposite way that it's wound. And what that does is it unwinds it. See, it unwinds it right there. So you pinch and you turn this the opposite way that it's wound. And then you can place you can place the brown in that groove. See? And now so what I like to do is I like to hold it down with my thumb and pull down here. Okay? Now once you do that, you can take this tool and what you do is you press it down like that. See? The tool goes in between there and you just press it down. You press it down until until the cable touches the bottom. You see, so here you can tell that I pushed this one in, but I did not push that one in, right? So you just do that for all of them. Okay? So you just push them down, push them down, you push them down, and then the same process for the other six cables. So now you've got green stripe and solid green. Okay, so it's the same procedure. So so the point is that you want to keep the windings as far up the cable as you can. The windings is what gives Ethernet, well, not Ethernet, a category cable, its noise rejection properties. It's the bindings. So you don't want to unwind it too much. So I think right there is good. So I pinch it here, remember, and counterclockwise, and it'll unwind a lot of the cable. See, it'll unwind it. And it'll unwind it at the point that you pinch it. So if I pinch it here, right, and I unwind it there, the unwinding is going to stop here. It's going to stop wherever I pinch it. Okay, so um, solid green is at the bottom and striped green is at the top. So you push you push those down in there. You push them down in there, and you're really gonna need nails for this. A lot of this work is being done with my nails, and I've done this so many times that it's just I don't know, like my fingers automatically know what to do, and then you just push it and push it. But do it on a flat surface. Do it on a flat surface like this. Boom and boom. Okay. So that is pushed in there. Just gotta make sure it's really in there. Gotta make sure it's really in there. There's another tool that I have, but I only have one of those tools, and it's called the punch down tool, and you just like hit it and it goes boom, boom, boom. It's really cool, but that tool is kind of pricey, and I only have one of them. So this tool does the job, and it comes with the a pack of these. Well, actually, no, it comes with the punch down panel. All right, so we have solid orange on the top and stripe orange on the bottom, and we need about this much cable. So what I do is pinch it here. So I'm gonna need about that much cable. So I pinch it here, and I do do counter of what the the twistings are, and I just push it in there. See that? And I don't know if you can see very well on this camera. Should have probably used a better camera, but my twistings go almost all the way to where the cables have to separate. Now that's not critical. You don't have to be a perfectionist because the Ethernet protocol actually has pretty robust noise rejection built into the protocol. Well, not noise rejection, sorry. The Ethernet protocol has error correction built into it. That's why Ethernet is so freaking awesome. Like you can get data over a really crappy connection because the error correction is just built into the protocol itself. So you're good. Now, last one is um, blue. Now I don't know if you've noticed, but the opposite ones are the same. So stripe orange and solid orange on the top here, and it's stripe brown and solid brown on the top. See, but these two are alike, where stripe is on top and not on the bottom. Stripe is on top and not on the bottom. You know, I think they do that because after you're done, you want to check your colors, and that's like an easy way to check. If you're doing a whole house of these, I'm literally doing like 100 of these per job. So that's just a really quick way of making sure that my colors are good. If the diagonal ones match, then I know I'm good. Now you see this one, I untwisted and the solid ended up on the top. So what you do is you just flip them. You flip them, you flip them, and you push them down. See? You push them down. This blue is really hard to tell which one is stripe blue and solid blue. Anyways, so you put them in the grooves and then you use your handy dandy tool to. Now, I usually like to come in at an angle until this catches and then go up and down. Because sometimes what happens is I'll slip, and this will actually break off and that just ruins the whole head. So I'll do that, and then I'll just give them all like a little nice. Just got to make sure that they're down. Okay, now what do we do about this excess thing? Now, the tool I told you about, the punch down tool, has an edge that cuts these off automatically, and it's such a sweet tool and it makes life easier. But again, if you're only gonna do this like once in your entire life in the house, like you don't want to really spend that much money on that tool. So what I do is I grab a cutting knife, and what you do is you just kind of line it up there. See how there's a see how there's sort of a shelf here, sort of a shelf there. So what I do is I like to just lean up on the shelf and just rock back and forth, pressing down, rock back and forth, pressing down, and you'll end up on that shelf. You'll end up on that shelf with the box cutter knife, and boom, it makes a nice clean cut. Now what you want to make sure is that all of these are even. You see how this one is a little high? This one's a little high. That probably means that I didn't press it down hard enough. So I'm gonna press it down. I'm gonna just press this down and make sure that they're all like pretty much as down as they can go. Okay, and then you just do the same for this side. Just right there, and you just rock gently back and forth. And if your knife is sharp enough, it'll cut it. Rock back and forth, rock back and forth, rock back and forth, and boom. And there you have it. There you have it. Uh, you've completed a termination. See, and you see how the sheathing is pretty much up to there. It doesn't matter. I mean, like I've been to jobs where they cut back the sheathing here. I think that's a little unprofessional, a little sloppy. But if you're a homeowner, um, we don't expect perfection from you. Now, each one has this cap that kind of just goes over it and it snaps in. See, it lines up. It's got these grooves and it just lines up and you press down and then the cable actually catches in here. So you just kind of do that. I mean, it's supposed to catch in there, but whatever. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But the cap is just there to make sure everything stays, and that's it. You know, you're good to go. Um, okay, now to the fun part. You know what? I'm gonna cut this cable so it's not flopping all the way around. There you go, Batman. Play with that. Okay, now, so that is for upstairs, on the wall jacks. Okay, that's what that's for. The downstairs in the basement where all the cables come in, I want you to put these RJ45s in. Now, same procedure with this. You just kind of cut. Don't cut too much because like every time that you mess up, you're gonna want to cut back and back and back. So don't cut too much. And then remember, if you have this flint thing, um, just peel it back a little so you can make sure that you don't have any nicks. And then take the structure spine and separate them so that you don't accidentally cut the cable and do that. Hit the camera again. Yeah, whatever. Anyways, so now you've got this. Now, this one is this is difficult. This is just years of practice. This one, unfortunately, you have to unravel all of the wires. You have to unravel all of the wires. Um, I mean, you could just put those at both ends and then use a jumper cable, but I don't know. I like to have the minimum amount of contacts as possible, you know. So you're gonna plug these straight into the switch downstairs. Oh shit, is there power in the basement? Is there power in that box? I don't know. It's gonna be up to you to. If there's no power in that box, you might just run a extension cord. Okay, so you've got the orange pair. Actually, here's how I was taught. Orange pair, blue pair, brown pair, green pair. So what you do is you make a cross or I was taught a flower. Okay. Now we're doing this is 568B. Okay, there's two standards. There's A and there's B, and the only difference between the standards is that B, orange pair goes first. A, green pair goes first. So we're doing B. Okay, there's a giant B on this thing. So what you do is you grab. So you make your cross. You grab the stripe orange and orange. Okay. Then, so it's going to go stripe, solid, stripe, solid, stripe, solid. Okay. Stripe orange, solid orange, stripe green. Green is going to get split into two. Blue is going to split green. Blue always splits either the green or the orange. So, but we're maintaining our pattern of stripe, solid, stripe, solid, stripe, solid. Okay. So stripe orange, stripe green, solid blue, solid green, stripe brown, solid brown. Okay. Now you've got a fan. Okay. So stripe, solid, stripe, solid. Okay. With blue being between green. All right. And then you take your thumb and you gather the whole fan like this. Gather the whole fan like this, not losing the um the orientation. Okay, so everyone's got to stay in their lane. All right, everyone's got to stay in their lane. Now I'm gonna bring the green around here because it's causing a problem down there. But everyone's got to stay in their lane. Okay, everyone's got to stay in their lane. Stay in their lane, and uh, you're going to massage it like this, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Okay, massage it up and down, up and down, up and down. The heat of your fingers is going to make these straight. Okay, and so you're going to bend it like this until you have a portion of this that's straight. Okay, portion of this that's straight. So like this, like this, like this, like this. You see how it's straightening out? You see how it's straightening out? You can go up and down like this, but like what I'm doing is I'm holding real tight there, and I'm sliding like that. But I'm as I'm going, I'm bending. The bending is what heats up the copper inside. The motion, the constant motion, um, is heating up the copper inside, and it's allowing it to be super malleable. But you see how it's straight? See how it's straight? Okay, now about a thumb's length of straight. That's all you need is about a thumb's length from the sheath, a thumb's length of straight. Okay? All right. Now, what you do is you take this tool, which I'm giving you, and you put it through here. Okay? Put it through here, and you want at least a thumb's length. Okay? And you just chop. All right? You just chop. And you want to make sure that the ends, see that guy did not get straight. So you want to kind of just keep massaging it till it's straight. Or actually, what I do in this instant is, you see how the green is not straight? It's kind of like crooked like that. So I'm just gonna cut below the crooked line. I need a straight line. So I'm gonna cut below the crooked line. Okay. Now I've got straight line. Straight line. Okay. It's very important. Straight line. Now, um, it's very important that never you squeeze as tight as you can here. Okay. To keep them in line. And then you grab this copper side up, copper side towards you, and you kind of you put them in there, and then you want to kind of turn up so that the the copper is pushing against the floor of the RJ45, and you just push it, okay? And you just push it, and it'll slide right in, and you'll actually see them come through, okay? And make sure that they came through in the proper order, okay? Make sure that they came through in the proper order. So solid, or I mean, stripe orange, solid orange, stripe green, solid blue. Yeah, that's solid blue, stripe blue, solid green, stripe brown, solid brown. Okay? See that? It came right through. All right, so let's do that again. This is probably the hardest part about doing this thing. Um, you put them in the thing, and I want to kind of show you this at this angle so you can see that. You see how it's how okay, if I just try to shove it in there, they're not all straight. If I make the cable like grind up against the floor, they all get straight. And there's like slots in there that kind of help the cable get into each of its slot, okay? And then pull down as much as possible so that the sheath is inside of there, but push down as far as possible and just make sure that your colors are good. Okay, so once that's there, what I like to do personally is I like to take them and I like to twist them like that. I like to twist them like that. And then you see this tool has a knife. The knife side is out, and you just push this through like that until it can't push it anymore. All right, and then you just cut, and then you hold it down, and you just kind of grab the rest, and then you let it go, and boom, you have just made an Ethernet cable that you can just plug right in there. See that? So, yeah, it's pretty easy. It's pretty easy. It just takes practice. Just takes practice. All right. It's been real. Catch you on the flip side.